Hey everyone, I'm back with another book review for you guys. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Heidi Dishler and I run an entertainment and book blog. I also love to make YouTube videos and book reviews on YouTube. So today I'm going to be reviewing Glorious Rivals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Grandest Game series. So if you haven't read the Grandest Games, you can check out my video review on that, or you can go directly to the very beginning of all of the characters in the Inheritance games. So just a warning before we go any further, you will get spoilers for the Grandest Game, and more than likely I might end up mentioning spoilers from the Inheritance games, the Hawthorne Legacy, or the Final Gambit, and any books before this one, just because the way that series works, you're gonna have to spoil something. So just be warned, if you haven't read the Inheritance game series, if you haven't read the Brothers Hawthorne or the Grandest Game, there may be spoilers. All right, just to give you a quick, very quick recap of what happened in the Grandest Game. Basically, you got to meet all of the players in the Grandest Game, but now the only ones who are left in the actual game are Savannah, Rohan, Grayson, Lyra, and Brady. You don't really hear a lot about Brady in Glorious Rivals, just a heads up, but those are the 5 contenders left in the Grandest Game. You still hear about Gigi, who got knocked out, and she's kind of figuratively and literally. So she's knocked out of the game, but she also got knocked out and kidnapped, and that's where you start Glorious Rivals. But also you see a little bit about Nox, and you hear a little bit about Odette. So even though you have game contestants who lost the Grandest Game, they still come back in Glorious Rivals in one way or another. So that's a very quick recap on where we start now, and you jump directly back into the Grandest Game. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my review for Glorious Rivals. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It was a very slow start for me. I felt like the pacing was either really off or there was just too much going on and my brain couldn't keep up. But I was not completely invested in this novel until halfway through the book, if I'm being honest. But one thing that I really did appreciate is I feel like Jennifer Lynn Barnes did an amazing job at quickly but subtly recapping the Grandest Game in the very first few chapters, and I really appreciated that, and I really liked that she did that because it helped me, especially since it's been a year since the Grandest Game came out. So my favorite part about the novel obviously is the characters. I honestly didn't like all of the characters in the Grandest Game. I was kind of aggravated, especially by like Savannah and Lyra, but in Glorious Rivals I found myself actually coming to like every single one of them. I liked Rohan. I ended up liking Savannah. I ended up liking Lyra. The characters who I didn't like in the Grandest Game, I ended up liking in Glorious Rivals. It's not saying that I don't like Grayson or Gigi or Rohan anymore. I absolutely adore them, but now I like all of the characters, and it was kind of cool to see how they developed and how Jennifer Lynn Barnes brought us to really like them. And that's just obviously my opinion. You may have liked those characters in the first book, but now I like them all. So that's my favorite part about Glorious Rivals. But as far as questions that we wanted answers to, in Glorious Rivals, you get to find out who kidnapped Gigi. You finish the Grandest Game and learn who the winner is. And you learn a little bit about the mysterious, not part of the game clues that popped up through the Grandest Game. But to be honest, you didn't learn enough throughout the book to really warrant a whole, like another novel. This is just obviously my opinion, but I feel like it really dragged on. Like I feel like it was an interlude. It was an interlude for something bigger to come. And I think that that's the best way to describe it. Okay, spoilers. If you have not read Glorious Rivals, please stop because I will be spoiling everything. I'm going to give you some quick bullet points about my thoughts and how I felt about this novel. So, Gigi was captured by someone named Tyus Slater, who not coincidentally was working for Eve. Jackson, I was really excited about this, makes a shocking appearance. And if you don't know who Jackson is, you need to read Games Untold, or at least the small novella, The Same Backwards as Forward. I don't remember if he's mentioned in any of the other books, but Jackson's basically a lighthouse keeper, and he helped Hannah and he helped Toby when they had their issues when the island blew up a long time ago. Like I said, go read Games Untold. Anyway, Jackson makes a shocking appearance and he rescues Gigi after like she Gigi gets kidnapped and kind of halfway saves herself. But then I was really confused because he disappears. And I don't know if that was on purpose, but you don't see him again after Gigi gets kidnapped for the second time. And so I'm wondering if they're going to bring that back or if he just popped up and now he's gone and he was like a cameo. So yeah, that was confusing, but it was cool to see him. There is a mysterious force of 3. There's a white cloaked woman, a black cloaked woman, and a red cloaked woman. The only one I truly understood the description for was the black cloaked woman because she was Omega, which means the end, and therefore I'm kind of like getting death vibes. I was a little confused by the rest. If y'all could explain it to me and break it down, I would really appreciate it because I honestly re-listened to that last part so many times and I'm still confused. But Odette is the white cloaked woman. I don't know where their place is yet, but I have a feeling that that's going to be a very big thing in the next novel. So Savannah wins the Grandest Game, and it's totally anticlimactic because no one is actually there to greet her or to celebrate with her because Avery got kidnapped. So everyone's like freaking out and trying to figure out where Avery is. So when Savannah wins the Grandest Game, basically it's just like, okay, we have to all hurry up and go to a safe place because Avery is kidnapped and something's not right. But this was also anticlimactic and honestly way too convenient in my opinion. Savannah completely drops her vendetta against Avery after she wins the game. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we're dropping it. I get it. I don't know if I fully believe that she drops it, but Gigi seems to believe that she dropped it. And it seemed like the whole first novel was built off of Savannah's vendetta against Avery and how she wants to prove who Avery really is and embarrass like all of the Hawthorns. But then in this book, she drops it within like a chapter. I didn't like that part personally, but that's just me. Anyway, Avery is officially kidnapped, presumably by Alice Hawthorne, and this is where the book ends. Lyra and Grayson are officially a thing. They have gotten together. Grayson even stood up to Jameson for Lyra, and that was nice. I'm so glad Grayson has this person. Rohan and Savannah are still building romantic tension. They haven't really done a whole lot, but you do get a lot of that romantic tension between them in Glorious Rivals. And then, of course, Gigi is just Gigi. So yeah, that's my spoilers. All right, there you have it. That is my recap. That's my review, spoiler-free. And you have heard all of my spoilers after that. Please, 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 please let me know what you thought of Glorious Rivals down in the comments below. I would really like some help and some explanations on some of the things I mentioned in the spoilers. If you haven't read this book, definitely check it out. Start with the beginning of the series. The Inheritance Game is top tier. It's way better than the Grandest Game and you'll appreciate it a lot more. I honestly gave the Grandest Game 3.5 because it's above meh, but it's not good enough to be 4 solid stars for me. So it's 3.5, but it was rounded up to 4 for all of my social platforms. Like I said, leave me a comment down below. Subscribe if you like this video because I always make videos of book reviews, movie reviews, and basically all things entertainment. And I really love to hear from you guys. So thanks for watching and hopefully I'll see you later.